One of America's consummate photojournalists, Bernie Boston, is best known for his poignant photograph of a standoff between the National Guard and Vietnam protesters. After decades of covering the civil rights movement and working as a White House news photographer, Bernie Boston is now photographer and co-publisher of the Bryce Mountain Courier with his wife, Peggy. We'll talk to both Bostons about their unique perspective as witnesses to history and their transition to the new era of being small-town newspaper people. And that is the point. What is it about the Shenandoah Valley that you find intriguing, exciting, satisfying, especially after the life that you led in a big city for a cool newspaper?
Experiencing the hustle and bustle of D.C. and major cities I've traveled to, and then come here and find just a quietness to it. Real people.
Bernie and I bought the newspaper in 2000 and have been operating it since then. We just hit our 7th anniversary doing it. It's all feature. We don't do any hard news. That's not the business that we're in. We do features on venues, interesting places that people can go and visit, on activities, and on interesting people in the area. And we pretty much believe that you can grab anybody off the street and they've got a story to tell.
And they're honest. It's just nice to photograph people who don't slam the door in your face and when you approach. And there are no ropes, velvet ropes to keep you behind. And there are no PR agents telling you how to do your job when you know better how to do it.
I was interviewing for jobs the week that Martin Luther King was assassinated in April 1968. This guy came rushing into the lobby of the building with a flak jacket and cameras flying every which way and a gas mask and a riot helmet on. And they said, that's Bernie Boston. He's one of our really good photographers and he's been out covering the riots.
You name it, any city with any size to it was experiencing the civil rights movement, the unrest.
If there ever was a news year, everything was happening in 1968. You had Martin Luther King's assassination, Bobby Kennedy's assassination.
People wanting change or not wanting change as it was in Mississippi, Alabama, and that area. And I was part of it. I didn't see far enough ahead that what we were doing was changing the world.
He is able somehow in almost every picture to come out with something where you can see the soul of it.
You're there to record a scene and let your reader form a decision. The role is to be honest, not change the content of the image through manipulation, understanding what someone is going to do under given circumstances before they really realize they're going to do it themselves. My most famous picture, The Flower Power, is a result of that, I'm quite sure, in that when I saw the lieutenant march a squad of soldiers into a sea of demonstrators, I knew something interesting had to happen.
So I just want to go through your book, which is called Bernie Boston, American Photojournalist, and just talk about some of the images that we see here, the ones that stand out for me. The first one seems like an early photo from 1967. It's the portrait of H. Rap Brown.
He was hiding from the law. And I found him in this home in Dayton and was able to talk my way into photographing.
How would you describe him as just his image?
Defiant. I'm the man.
The next one is Richard Nixon visiting 7th Street in Washington, D.C.
That's after the riots. And Nixon decided to go up 7th Street to visit the people. He was a very smart man, very, very smart man, who got himself in trouble.
Oh, Amy Carter goes to school.
She went to Stevens Elementary School. And I decided I didn't want to be with all the other photographers on the other side, so I broke away and came on this side. And the White House car pulled up and let her out, and she in her Snoopy bag. And,
Her Snoopy bag.
And marched on into the school. The poor little girl was on her way to school for the first day.
Then James Brady.
I heard gunshot. I did not see Reagan shoved in the car. I got Brady and the police officer and so forth, and Hinckley.
And then we have the Beatles. This is that famous concert, isn't it? Where, I mean, I guess they were all famous, but where they were screaming so loudly?
That was in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I was assigned to go down there and photograph them. It's at the ball field, at the ballpark, and I'm out on the field.
Well, I love John Lennon and his guitar. And then actually Paul McCartney. Yeah. He's kind of, what do you think he's doing there? With
tuning.
He's tuning?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's on the way up to the stage?
Up to the stage.
Uh-huh.
Listening to it.
Yeah. The nanny for the Kennedy family paying tribute to...
Robert.
It's so just absolutely poignant and...
She raised him.
Yeah.
So it's part of the family. I like it in that she's standing alone there without any of the family around her.
Coretta Scott King at the unveiling of her husband's...
Oh, yeah. For some reason, her face just lit up in front of my camera. And I fired off one or probably two frames at that. And I yelled, I nailed it, I got it.
You did nail it.
People beside me looked at me and said, what's wrong with him? Just keep your eye on the camera and keep it ready. That's it.
Nailed it.